Hello, and welcome to this student's view of FlightPath. We're going to log into our demo environment using the test student account. Now, the first thing we see when we log in is the student's dashboard. We can see their upcoming appointments right here. We see recent advising history, and we see their announcements. As far as their recent advising history, because this is from our demo environment, you can see there's a lot of, sample advisings, but you can click one of these rows and you can actually see an actual advising session. You can see who the advisor was, the term it was advised for, and the courses they were advised to take. Next, I'm going to switch to the student's profile. So here we see some information about the student at the top. We can get immediate information, for example, how many, what is the percentage of D's and F's that they have, and what are those courses. And we also see automatic alerts that have been generated for them. Now, some of these, I should say, are automatic, but others are actually entered by faculty. So, for example, this one was automatically generated by the students. They approached too many absences. This one, the student's GPA dropped below a certain level. These are all things that can be tied into your LMS or SIS in order to generate these early alerts. Next, let's head over to the Engagements tab. This is where all communications with the student are saved. For example, text messages back and forth, as well as emails. If you wanted to, the faculty can also log phone calls, things like that. But this shows you a nice back and forth communication history so that even if the student switches advisors or goes somewhere else on campus, those communications are always saved in the student's profile. Next, we're going to go to the Degree tab. The Degree tab is where we actually see the student's progression through their degree and any advisings that have taken place. So right at the top, we see some pie charts. We see their major requirements. We see overall degree progress. And this is completely configurable within FlightPath, which pie charts we're going to see under what categories. We see that they are 35% complete through their degree towards graduation. The courses themselves, these are all courses or elective groups that are required. For example, we see select 3 hours from core social sciences, select 3 hours from core English composition, and so on. And if we click that, we can see what courses count towards core English composition, and the student can simply click to get a description. Now, courses that are in blue mean that the student has completed that course and earned credit, and it's being applied towards their degree. Courses that are in green mean that the student is currently enrolled or registered for that course. So we see here English 2002 is in green, and we also see down here CINS 3044 is in green, and we actually have a midterm grade posted. Now maybe your institution does this, maybe they don't, but we can also handle midterm grades as well as no grade at all to show that they are currently enrolled. We also have courses that they have not yet completed. These are black and they have these little check boxes. And any of these courses, by the way, we can click to get a description. If we scroll down a little bit, we can see the students' test scores. We can see these are ACT scores. Perhaps instead we'd be looking at SAT or Praxis or CLEP or whatever sort of standardized testing that you accept. We can display those scores here and a complete history of those scores. We also see their excess credits. These are credits that are not filling into the degree plan, including ones that they made an unsatisfactory grade, credits that did not meet a minimum grade requirement, and also credits that they withdrew from. Speaking of things that are stopping the student from progressing, we can also see that there are prerequisite requirements. So this course is grayed out, and there's a little lock next to the checkbox. If we click that, we actually see what are the prerequisites. So the student knows exactly what's expected of them in order to proceed. We also see transfer credits and what they're equivalent to. So for example, we know that CIS 371 is one of their transfer credits. When we click it, we see that the school that they got this credit from was Grambling State University. We see the term they took it, and we also see the equivalent course at our university is Computer Science 3010. And you'll notice, if we scroll up a little bit, it's actually filling into the degree plan automatically. This is something that no human being has to manually do in FlightPath. FlightPath automatically will place those transfer credit equivalencies into the degree plan when they are there. So we're going to scroll back up, and now we're going to go to the comment screen. Comments are any sort of message left by the advisor. In this case, we only see one, and it's just sort of sample text. That's what all this is. But this is where the advisor might leave messages for the student that are visible to the student. The advisor also has the ability to leave messages that are only visible to fellow advisors or faculty and staff that are invisible to the student. And if you watch the advisor video, you'll see what I mean. We'll go into more detail about that. Let's head over to the History tab. The History tab shows all of the advising sessions, common history, and if we had any uploaded files, the files that the student that have been attached to the student's record. And any of these we can click and we can see, what were they advised to take on that day and by whom. And we do actually save the complete advising history. Now, as I mentioned, because this is for a demo server, we're seeing all of this really long history of examples, but normally you'd only see one or two per term, if that. We also can see all of our comments in one spot here as well. Let's head over to the What If tab. This is how the student will be able to try out other degrees to see if they are thinking of changing their major or adding a double major. How would that affect them? So I'm going to add the accounting degree. Now remember, this student started off as computer science. So when the page reloads, we see that we are now viewing how the student's credits fit in to an accounting degree. And we see a lot of them do fit in, but we do see that the excess credits have expanded. That's because they don't fit in to a non-computer science degree. We can also see really clearly up here at the top, their degree progress is at 25% complete. If we quickly pop back over to the degree tab, it was at 35% complete with computer science. So right off the bat, the student knows that they are going to lose a little bit of their progress if they change majors and if no further substitutions are made by their institution. We can also display, by the way, you've been seeing this displayed by year. We can also display by type. So we see general requirements, electives, major requirements, additional. These are all things that can be directly mapped into a pie chart, and they're completely configurable what these categories are. Some people prefer to see things this way. Some people prefer the so-called display by year mode. All of this is completely configurable. It doesn't have to be by year. It can be by term. It can be by category, what have you. Next, let's look at the students' appointments. So we see here that they do have an appointment coming up today, at least as far as when this video was recorded. If they click it, they can get some more information about it. They can also see their upcoming appointments very simply right here, and they can schedule appointments. So I'm going to walk you through scheduling a sort of a mock appointment with this person's advisor. So we're going to say a video chat over Zoom. So I'm going to pick a date, and it automatically adjusts so that it does not overlap with anything going on with this advisor's work calendar, personal calendar, what have you. It has the ability to read in an external calendar to make sure the student doesn't accidentally overbook them. Let's just say 9 a.m. And at this point, the student will simply confirm, add any additional comments they want, and hit confirm and save. And what will happen is, once they do that, they will actually receive notifications through text message or email, and a Zoom meeting and link will be sent out to both the advisor and the student. They, of course, also receive reminders as the meeting is getting closer and closer. Next, let's look at the courses. These are courses that are available at the university. It's simply a listing of your course catalog. We have the ability to show availability of these courses as well. For example, we can see that in 2023 in the fall, it's expected to be offered, etc. We can also download a sample syllabus. We can do something similar with what we call the blank degree search. This is a tool that lets the students select any degree that you offer at your university, let's say biology. And what we can see is, as the name implies, it is a completely blank degree with nothing filled in. You can still click in order to get descriptions, especially for like the electives, for example. Um, but otherwise nothing else is filled in. And some people like to view this screen so that they can print it. Maybe they want to print this out, then mark it up with pen and paper, that sort of thing. So it's a really great tool for that. So that's about it for the sort of main interactions that a student would have with FlightPath. Of course, everything is mobile friendly and it automatically resizes for a tablet or a phone. It looks really great inside of a mobile app. Um, and yeah, that's it for this video, I think. So if you haven't seen it already, make sure to check out the advisor's view of FlightPath as well. Thanks, and have a great day.